Welcome back, dreamers and Flam family. This is Two Peas in a Pod, brought to you by GeneralAndrews and
Flibbityflam.
and we are sponsored by the 8-Bit Dojo and ESN, where we aim to be selfless, not selfish. This is episode 19 of season 2. Mute me, bitch. All right, Flibbity Flam, welcome back.
General, welcome back as well.
Look at this guy traveling around the world. Feels like it's
Yes.
been a couple of weeks. What's happening, dude?
Nothing.
Everything, dude. You left.
Everything
Now
and
we're supposed to
nothing.
mute our streams. No one could ever hear us ever again.
I feel like whenever I go on vacation or I
Yeah.
leave the state, like I see something on Twitter that's just more audacity and the word, like some of the worst shit I've ever
You
seen.
understand that you are the equilibrium that keeps this ship afloat.
It feels like it sometimes.
You are an important cog to the machine that keeps DMCA off of our backs.
No.
Where were you?
I defending some other copyright law somewhere else.
Yeah, you're in some other place dealing with the same bullshit. Okay, so what do you think? What do you feel that's the best action to take is to mute your freaking stream?
I think it's the laziest thing they could have told us. That's for fucking
no, it's absolutely fucking ridiculous.
like, come on, man.
It's the most bullshittiest fucking thing I've ever heard of. Because here's what needs to start happening. This streaming idea is not going away ever. Okay, it might get slowed down. It might be at what's going on right now. It might hit a golden age and disappear for a period of time, but it's not going away forever. It is going to be around because people like that type of entertainment, and there's money to be made by the big companies also to be involved in that. So, therefore, what needs to happen is there needs to be a bunch of legal shit going down. Twitch needs to start pushing the ball here. And they don't want to because it costs them a lot of money, right? But they're willing to spend it on GlitchCon trailers, which should happen for those individuals. There's nothing wrong with those individuals being wined and dined, but it makes me think of an episode of The Office, right? Dunder Mifflin is going under, but you know what? They're taking Michael Scott in a limo from Scranton.
Oh my goodness, I remember this episode.
From Scranton all the way back to New York to be on this thing, and they just want him to be there for appearances, and he thinks he's there to save the company. So no, there's nothing wrong with those individuals getting that treatment. The issue is that if they were to claim it's because they don't have the money, they're not making money running Twitch. Well, let's be real here. Then that means that they're not spending the money appropriately.
Yeah.
So, for example, Emmett Shear is a great example of someone that can go ahead. Let's just go ahead and fire him. You know how much money that is now you have available?
God.
That's money you can put towards figuring this goddamn thing out.
Well, what blows my mind is that, Twitch was approached by the music industry like 3 or 4 years ago. It's like, hey, we need to work out when they were working out the dealings with YouTube.
Right.
And they were like, nah, we're good. Like, even on that thing, I saw so many record companies being like, yeah, we've been trying to email Twitch for months.
Right. I believe that.
Just for them to get nothing. Like, no response back or not. Like, that's just pure apathy at that point. Like, you don't
It makes me think, it legit makes me think of my college bowling coach, which was actually an advisor at best. An individual who was, faculty at the community college, and therefore him being faculty there, gave him the proper ins when running another club, or because that's what we were, right? There was already so many sports in California. You had to follow the rules for men's and women's sports appropriately. Cool, right on. But things like bowling was not going to be this sponsored ship, let alone even covered by the school, because it's a community college, right?
Yeah.
And so it's a club, and you get you get your club amount of money. Was that $500, $600, something like that? Maybe 1,000 at the most. But all right, so that's the money you get to spend for the whole year on your club, right? This guy supposed to help us run this whole thing and whatnot. So we finally, after my third year, yes, folks, 3 years at community college. Okay, this is what happens when you're trying to save up money for your future and you're thinking long term. You're not getting done too because you can't afford to go off to school for those years 3 and 4, which always turns out to be more. It took me 3 years at community college and 3 years at state college, and I finally got my degree.
Yeah.
Right, and I had good grades. Right, I had a 3.5. For me, that was good. You know, I was happy
In
with that amount
college,
of
I
effort.
think that's a very good average.
You know, I was happy with that. And so me rambling on and on about all this nonsense over here comes back to the simple fact that I finally filled a competitive team with some friends and teammates that 3rd year. Well, one of the bowlers had dropped classes 3 years before, two full years before, and needed those to be cleared. Did not get those cleared. So all the advisor had to do after getting email after email from the bowling college bowling league, because club teams were allowed to participate in the league even if they weren't a scholarship program, because bowling as a sport in college was not huge. So the more teams in it, from different schools, the more they're willing to do so. It's just that you'd be at a disadvantage because they're probably fielding top tier talent, right? And so this whole thing comes down to him simply needing to respond to an email. Well, we got disqualified. We'd finished the best ever the school had ever done in collegiate bowling. We were ranked 54th in the country.
Wow.
Which sounds like nothing for any of you top tier athletes, but for us it was a big deal because normally we would be in the bottom 5 to 10 for the season.
Yeah,
usually what normally would happen for a community college is certain individuals, I don't need to keep my eligibility, I'm dropping that one class I definitely don't want to be in. You drop your eligibility, you don't have full-time units. Guess what? All your scores don't count now because you're not a full-time student.
God, that sucks.
So certain ones of those tournaments, you go from having a 5 bowler score down to a 4. Well, you're definitely probably coming in last place in that tournament. Just mathematically, it's kind of how it works, that 20% of your score being removed more than likely probably buried you.
Yeah.
Wait, maybe not, but probably. So let's go back to take this whole thing with just an email and not responding to it. Big difference here is, though, right? It makes sense why he totally didn't care. He didn't need to care. There was nobody else. Like, to him, 8 bowlers, 8 students' life didn't depend on, being eligible for collegiate bowling playoffs.
Yeah.
Right? You're not getting scouted necessarily to the same degree someone playing in a bowl game would for college. Right? For let's say football is a good example. We'll use that one. It's got a big, spotlight on it. Okay, so his mindset there. But Twitch has millions of individuals who utilize the platform, not just viewing it, but actually streaming on it, and therefore pulling in money for them. Yes, a demand on their resources, but this isn't going to go away. Their business isn't going anywhere. They have so much money tied into it. And if they've been complaining about profiting, they're obviously going to want to stay around longer so they can finally get some profits rolling in, right?
That would make the most sense, but who knows?
So, you know what? So I was rambling, right? You know what their solution for me would be? To just mute everything.
Just mute it. That was man. When I saw that, I belly rolled because I was like, this.
It was it was so pathetic.
It was so pathetic. Yeah. It was like, I can't believe this is their solution. Like who woke up in the middle of the night and was like, hey, this is a great tweet to put. Let's just have them mute their shit. That's it. It's brilliant. Look at that. Nobody gets in trouble.
Like, are you kidding me? That ad money, that next to nothing ad money that I get part of, that money can go right to the people whose music that needs to be paid off appropriately.
Yeah.
Right? That's where it should go.
Man.
Take it.
Yeah. That is a good solution. Yep.
But also another part of it is, how are they not getting to the point of understanding there's a difference? Let's say like the video game's music itself, right? The video game. You are now creating a different piece of content, right? So where's the lobbying for fair use of that specific thing? Now, if you're playing the game and then you decide to lower the game's music or mute it entirely and then add the other music, some people will do, right? Another playlist or something like that on top of it, because they might be locally recording their speedrun, for an example, now they can have the stream have more hype music, but for their, speedrunning times, they could turn those in legit because they'll have the game sound.
Yeah.
Okay. So In that instance, obviously they're using some other, musician's music, which therefore is a copyright free, right on, good for them. If it's not, those people need to be appropriately paid for. Well, but the video games, that's not, when you watch a video game,
Man.
you're only going to watch the game. But now the game's being played by somebody else that you actually know who it is, and they're doing different things to add value to what is being displayed on the screen, just as if someone was making a comedic overture or reaction video. You're telling me that's any different?
Yeah.
That's fair use now.
Should be.
Right? So what I'm probably missing something just barely, but now that barely should be now starting to be argued and lobbied for. I'm sorry, but you got Amazon dollars behind you. Amazon dollars should be able to lobby for you.
Oh man.
That streaming is a new format, therefore these rules need to change on these specificities. These other things that we can be even more ironclad on, right? Like we were talking about before, using the music of, not the game. That's not licensed. You know what I mean? Like that hasn't been given out rights to utilize in the manner that it's utilized in. But the game itself, that should be fair use. It's the same difference as using somebody else's audio, but then you go and tweak it so it's got a different sound, different pitch to it. You're now changing the speed of it, and then you're making commentary and maybe a parody because of that. Wait, what? How many parody stuff that all these different streamers are doing at different points in time?
Man, there's a ton.
So,
but I mean, parody is something that is protected, which is weird to me. I never understood parody law, because that is super weird to me. That's like, because like Weird Al and a bunch of other artists like that, like they take the whole thing, and they can, because it's they're making a parody. I'm like, okay, I get it. I guess that makes sense to me. Like, why are people caring so much about these video games then? So like,
thank you. Oh, I'm so glad to hear you say it too, because I feel like I'm just like yelling at you right now and just going off on this whole thing, because it's just like I don't understand how is this not fitting that same bill, or what will it take for it to fit that same bill, and why is it not being lobbied for right now?
Yeah,
this is $1 billion industry.
Exactly, and like
and then some.
YouTube instituted it very well. Sure, it wasn't perfect at first, but then they spent like $1 billion on the system that they have, and it works. And it works.
Wait.
And
are you telling me that YouTube tested something on their community before even asking their community if it was going to be the right thing? Sounds something like maybe something another company would do. Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, they didn't get it right at first, and we know what it's like to be tested on all the time for features.
All the time, man.
And we just accept it.
At least I'll give YouTube that their features are probably a little bit better than what Twitch rolls out, because they're like, oh hey, we're gonna test out mid-roll ads. Oh, you didn't like it? Well, we're gonna roll that out anyway. So
yeah, we don't like it. Okay, well, we're gonna take that away from a select few, but not any of you.
Yeah,
what?
Exactly.
What? Why?
Now, what was another fucking super stupid feature that they rolled out?
There's a lot of things that have made it just asinine as changing everything around. So like the UI, right? Okay, it is better now, but it wasn't such a change that it was worth all this extra time relearning it.
Yeah.
There's other things that have come and gone, ranging from what was that one? So obviously I can think of things that are still around, because we will utilize them from things like clips, or bits or cheering for, a fellow streamer buddy, and things like that, where it's like, I'm trying to think of other ones that have finally gone to the wayside, just disappeared, because it's like, they weren't doing much of anything for anyone. And I get it, you're testing stuff out. So again, rolling it back to the idea, they had to test things out. So you're telling me that YouTube didn't get it right the first time, and now they've kind of figured out, and people feel like, okay, that's that part of the system, not the whole system, but that part of the system is fair.
Yeah.
Okay, so why are we?
Why are we doing nothing?
Why is our side of the ball for yes, YouTube does live streaming, but that's not their main source. It's growing, but it's not their main thing.
Yeah.
Twitch's whole entire basket is streaming. So why is that not? Hello, you want that to work still? You want to make the money that you want to make off of us, right on. But we also want to make money, okay, right on. But you understand you're throwing away that capability from all these different things that are temporary band-aids.
Yeah.
Go ahead and make a couple of bucks. I know you're big company, so you're making probably, a lot of money, but still for you, it's small change when it comes to some of these advertisements that you're running,
Man.
right? So why are you running these advertisements that are alienating your audience more than it's actually going to make you money? Yeah, a little bit of initial cash flow, but we got to think long term here.
Yeah, they've
You
just been
need
showing
users
us
on your site.
they've been showing us they're way too down for super short term gain.
Well, and there was lots of growing pains that the community as a whole was willing to deal with from Twitch because Twitch felt different than every other thing that they've been dealing with in their life.
Yeah.
It was their time to finally, yeah, it's not going to be perfect, but we're going to be able to work through it because the vibe is here that Twitch has our backs. And that's why so many people like someone like, oh my gosh, come on, brain, DJ Wheat.
Yeah.
Because, he's one of the last glowing rods of that era.
Man, yeah.
That was, this is something different. This is the Twitch community. Well, that's something to worry about, right?
Yeah.
Is that if he ever leaves, assume that it's going to go full Amazon corporate on Twitch, then is it going to have that creative excitement? And that excitement is, I feel that's why you can see across the board. Now, we've been doing this for so long, and our metrics show that, we've done so many different things that we're growing, and it's going well, even if there are small lulls, that it's also growing. But I feel when I pop on, I don't see as many total viewers on the platform in abundance. Now, there might be specific times of day that are just much more popular. Maybe it's like right after school or whatever. Which obviously at the time I'm probably like waking up from the type of schedule that I have. So I'm not even thinking about rolling over and looking at Twitch metrics at that hour. That, I feel like it's lost a little bit of that pizzazz because people are like, hey, you've been backstabbing me, you've been blindsiding me constantly now, Twitch. Like before it was, oh, you fumbled, made a mess, cleaned it up, okay, cool, we're cool, but now it's like, dude, you're like taking money from my back pocket and being like, oh, yo, bro, like it's cool though, you know what I mean? Like,
I found $20 for you.
Like, I'm gonna have money at some point, bro. Yeah, but are you gonna have money you're gonna give back to me? Well, I'm gonna have money though. Wait, all you're saying is why it's okay that you can steal from me right now. You haven't actually told me you're paying me back the money you're taking from my wallet.
Yeah.
Dude, why do you always do this? Just mute your streams. What? And so you start to fall into that feeling that like you're getting taken advantage of, and I know some people are quote unquote not wanting to, fly the Twitch flag. Well, here's the thing, right? I don't want to fly the flag. I'm still going to follow all the TOS. I'm still going to put on an amazing show. I ain't giving up my content creation at all because of these things that are happening. I'm not going to be muted, so to speak.
Word.
But where does this go, Flib?
Man,
where does it go? What's the solution? You are a man that solves problems. You look at a speedrun, you're like, how do I go from never playing this game in my entire life and I'm going to end up in the top 20?
True.
Never even played the game, but now I'm going to speedrun. I'm going to speedrun it to get so good. But you do that. You solve those problems. Okay, speedrun this shit. Let's go.
Speedrun. Okay, first off.
Yeah, I don't hear your pen on your whiteboard. I don't.
Oh, you're right. My whiteboard's full.
Oh, shit.
I sent a picture.
Oh, I don't know what we're going to do. We can't solve the issue tonight.
Can't solve the issue. It's done.
Liv's whiteboard is full.
Yeah, my whiteboard would give you anxiety if you were to look at it.
We're screwed, dreamers.
We're done. It's
family.
Over.
It's over, man.
The first and foremost, they have to talk to the music industry at this point.
For now, I mean, plain and simple, they have to, right?
That's just simple. Like what my parents would always say to me, like, especially with like student loans or whatnot, is like, as long as you talk to them, it can't get very bad, right? Because you can always defer your payments, things like that. It'll only get worse if you don't talk to them. And that's how I feel the situation is. Is it's only going to get worse the more Twitch just tries to ignore it at this point. They have to talk to them. They have to cut a deal. They have to do something at this point. Otherwise,
They're
so many people are going to be
24/7.
taken down. Yeah.
Right. I mean, that's why we're not surprised, that like the Twitch hiccups that we see happen, because there's no like downtime for maintenance really.
No, at all.
Right. So it's like it's a 24/7. So it's not like they're not out of the eye. They're always on someone's eye, right? Like, so they want to find them breaking the rules again. They're going to immediately find them breaking the rules again. So you're right. They have to talk to them.
They do.
Because that now they might not agree with what they want to be happening here, but like you got to start figuring that out.
Yeah.
They're not going to not, you know what I mean? And like what I feel too, which would be so much more important, is that like the music industry specifically wants to target Twitch, and that Twitch could not pass the buck off onto us.
Yeah.
They're
basically
the beauty of it.
Like, hey, they're all subcontractors. Let them deal with themselves.
Yeah, that's what I mean. They're like, well, hey, no, we're not doing anything. We said that they can't, or they shouldn't, and they're still doing it. Now, we do kick them off when we eventually review it, but we need it to be brought to our attention.
Yeah.
Right? Playing this whole like, nope, but, I didn't see it. So, I mean, I would have totally turned them in, I totally would have. But so, but I want to make my money too. Like, no, they're the problem, because they have the business model that needs content creators. Yeah. No more content creators. There is nothing they offer anyone. Your hype means nothing.
Exactly.
That's what Twitch is built on, is an amazing model of hype.
Yeah.
An amazing ability to hype up. That's what they're great at. They're so great at hyping it up. Problem is now it's been around for so many years. Was it 2010 or was it 2011?
2010, I think.
2010, right? For some of the OGs, like the Man vs. Game and stuff. So like, eventually though, people now have a history to look back on and be like, wait, you didn't follow through on the thing you said. Remember, well, I see this being quoted all the time right now, is make sure to hold us accountable.
Yeah,
for when we
that whole thing. Yep.
And it's like, yo, like, did you not assume we would, like, what? When you said that, you didn't think people are going to bring that up? And did you want to laugh about it later? Like, why did you put that as a PR thing if you didn't want it to create more of a negative drawback on yourself?
Yeah.
Very, very interesting. And that's why I'm curious. What is this play here? Like, why is there all this scary stuff, all this weird stuff, when this is such a big company that backs Twitch, and that Twitch itself has the ability to become such a massive company in this space that's new, and it's a whole new frontier? What is really being worked on? Why does it feel so fragile right now?
Right. And like Amazon has like Amazon Music.
They're $1 billion company that's been buying companies over and over and over and over again for how many years now in a row, right? Like, come on, buying Costco's, I mean, shoot, I wouldn't be surprised someday when you hear them buying other, studios up and everything like that. So, okay, that's happening, right? You're telling me they don't have a game plan? Or are they just not going to let anyone know because it's all being lawyers spoke right now and it has to be hush hush until it's finalized?
That's the thing, that because like Amazon picked up Twitch, and then like not a whole lot changed. Like besides targeted ad, like the advertisements changed pretty fast.
Yeah, the ads changed.
Other than that, like infrastructure wise for Twitch, nothing really changed. In fact, you had more people leave than
you had more individuals who were on the creative side of things, right? Like we like to gush about. That's what we love, and why we've been starting to really utilize other places for content creation. We always wanted to do this podcast, but we even got more into it over this last year again, because the idea of needing to get out and create different pieces of content, again, just to satiate our need for creativity. I mean, you're an artist through and through.
Yeah, I would say we both are in our own
I in my own right. I consider you, obviously, from a traditional standpoint.
I'm the traditional artist.
Yeah. I'm more of that. Once I'm dead, people will go back and look back. Yeah, he was an artist. But for now, it's like, come on, buddy. Like, you still flexing? Calm down over there. All right. But like maybe in 150 years from now, they'll be like, you know what? That general guy, he was kind of artsy, huh? Yeah,
Yeah.
largy fartsy, right? I think
Well,
so.
let's see.
At least that's what I assume they'll say. No one needs to tell me what they will say, you future travelers coming back in time. Nobody
Yeah,
needs to
right.
tell me. Right? I don't need to know the reality of that.
I keep waiting every single day to have that conversation with myself. It's like, hey, we did time travel. It's like, wow.
Well, I'm expecting myself to leave a comment on like a YouTube video.
Right.
I know what your future holds. Wait, what? Why didn't you just? You know where I live. It's me, aren't you?
You're me, right?
Aren't you? And so getting back to the obviously getting off track with the asinine is, but that's how asinine a lot of these things it feels like Twitch does
Oh,
with
man.
the ranging from the suggestion of muting your stream. I saw some people came up with some really fun
Some of those
ways
were
of making fun of it.
so funny.
They really well,
Holy
I thought.
tamale. All the music streams where they mute themselves.
Yeah, that was
that was really good.
there.
I think
People are. You go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, I was sorry. No, I was like Jambo did Skyrim with no
Oh,
sounds.
yeah. Okay, I think I saw that one. Yeah.
That one was so funny. Oh my goodness.
Like, so there were some really, really good ones. People came up with some creative stuff because of that. Good. I'm glad. Because it just shows that, this kind of thing from people, again, a big dog telling you, just deal with it. It's like, dude, no, bro. Like, we're better than that. You know what I mean? Like, we create the content that you're able to make money off of too. Like, we know we can make money off this content.
Imagine having a million people who are like, yeah, I'll sit in front of a camera and record stuff for you for free.
Right?
Imagine having a million of those.
Brings up that, it's such a rarity that something like Twitch gives you the ability to create something on there for free.
Yeah.
Wait, how many of you pay to post your stuff up on YouTube? Wait,
right.
How many of you... Right, again, this is just such a weird concept to me. People like overlook these other things when trying to like, well, no, you got to pay to be like, no, you don't. That you have to understand that the world has changed. All these businesses want more people. And that means they have to take the risk of giving out their service for free. So guess what, though? They get people performing for free on their site. And then when they give them the access to monetizing easily through their stream, they get to dictate the percentages.
Yeah. Dude, it's how I look
at
it.
It's like line. It's very risky because you're not making money until people are really giving you that good content that is, marketable and sellable. But if you think long term, like the original Twitch was, right? There was something there, and look what it's turned into now. It's a force. People have to have streaming. Look at all the other companies now. They're like, so many major companies had to finally stop saying we're only gonna do broadcast. And now they're offering streaming packages because like, shit, dude, like we want some of that too now. They're taking our pie.
It's like how I look at it, it's like having a million acres of coal. And not only can you sell the coal for like a cheap price, but you're definitely probably going to find a diamond or two in there.
Right. Yeah. There's just so much. There's something else is also going to be amongst that. Right.
Yeah. It's just nuts. It's crazy. It's stressful.
It is. But it is stressful, but then we also have to constantly remind ourselves the situations that we are in, what we are legally, stuck with or whatever. And there's honestly, it's the same. Guess what? You just do the same thing they do. You just keep trucking until you literally have to make an adjustment. So don't let your content suffer. Don't let your mental health suffer if you need to find other things that help you balance, right? If that's, venting with friends, hanging out with friends, even if it's just on like a call like this right now, or if it's, you need to get therapy sessions, whatever that helps you through some of these stressful times. But the simple fact is don't stop creating until you're forced into a situation that you have to reconsider your business model. Because there are so many things going on right now that you have to look at from a business standpoint. Where is it going to continue to go? Right? They're not going to let streaming disappear.
It's not going to go, but it may change.
It may change, but now what good, bad, and different for any of us all the time, unless you're the person in charge, you're always at the whim of somebody else's decision making. I'm sorry, I don't own the internet.
Right.
So at some point, someone can tell me you don't get to use the internet. What? Damn it. The hell? What do you mean
He got
Comcast
me.
is down?
Oh man.
I don't get to control that. That my business doesn't work if I don't have the internet.
Yeah. That
So
hurts.
therefore, constantly, no matter what's happening, keep creating, keep coming up with ideas. Don't get so fear strucken or thrown off by this bullshit that's being fed to us, right? Because that's what they gave us. They gave us a bullshit response.
It was just
Well, it told us to
straight.
mute ourselves or whatever. And I'm like, yeah, how about you mute your freaking social media account right now?
Good God.
Here, I'll do it for you. That like it's just it's one of those hard things to fathom that they would even waste their time putting out a shitty PR message.
Yeah.
I don't get why they think I don't know who the heck's giving the A-OK on them. Like, yeah, that sounds like a good tweet.
Dude, I'm telling you, that was at like 3 or 4 in the morning. Somebody just woke up with it and tweeted it out. I was like, yeah, that'll be really
that'll
good
solve
in the
it.
morning.
They'll love it. They'll love it.
Can't wait to get an extra donut at the meeting.
I literally wonder, like, if they have a mole or something, so someone's intentionally trying to sabotage everything, and they just can't figure out who it is. You know,
dude, that'd be great.
it's like real life Among Us. You know, in Twitch headquarters. Are you the imposter?
There are 2 imposters among us.
You know, maybe that's what's happening. Maybe they've been using the vents. You know what I mean? That San Francisco needs a lot of ventilation out there. You know, on the bay.
I mean, I sure hope that's it, because if there's not, and it's just them doing all this shit, it's like, oh my goodness. Well, you guys are idiots.
And so again, stealing somebody else's work is wrong, right? But there is quite a different definition and understanding of that versus, you know, trying to play dumb and saying, oh, well, this person is going to get exposure off it. Like, no, if you took their work and you haven't done anything that has added to this to even be close to coming here. Like, no. You just took it, posted it up there, and then try to, you know, collect off of it, right? That's one thing. Versus, us as creators, again, it depends what you're doing for your creation. But no, you are creating something that is of a fair use thing. Get lawyers. Yeah. Understand what your actual rights are. Because here's the thing. People that go out there and throw DMCA things at you as well, not all of them are truthful.
Yeah.
You're worried about hiring a bad lawyer for yourself? Just understand the lawyers that are throwing stuff at you, there's no guarantee that you're getting all the angels that only follow all the rules. Understand that you need to also protect yourself. And yeah, that costs money, you know, but that money gives you the peace of mind knowing, hey, is my stuff good? Yeah, you're good. Keep on keeping on.
A couple $100 now compared to a couple thousand later.
A couple thousand, maybe it keeps you from, you know, you have restricted use of certain things because obviously it's like, oh, this guy just steals stuff and puts stuff on here. We're going to, you know, mark down his account for whatever, you know, platform that might be for, right? All those things, they hinder you. A few $100 on your lawyer reviewing said thing like, okay, can you tell me, like, am I in this? Because I feel like I'm doing this, and this correct. You know, what am I missing here? Or what do I need to change that will put me in this safety zone? Oh, well, you just need to do this right here. There it is. Really? I got to do that? Yep, you do all the things you're already doing, plus this, boom. They can't legally do anything to come after you now. Okay. They might, but I'll shut them down. Sweet. You know, those kind of things that we can talk very vaguely about because obviously we have lawyers that review stuff for us, right? But we're not the lawyers, even though they explain it to us. We're still not the lawyers to be like, yeah, it's totally this, and this thing, you know? Da-da-da-da. No, I'm not going to give you fake lawyer advice or get you in a tight position. But that's why I'm saying, and I know Flib will definitely agree. Flib's always like, hey, let me have my lawyer look at that too. You know, I'm like, yeah, sure. No, for sure.
Yeah, I
look at
it. Even if you just have like a family friend or somebody like that, like have the second person review the document.
Got to. And now, again, if it comes to something like a DMCA, you're going to want to actually have someone who deals in trademark law, who deals in copyright law.
It's different. It's old. It's a lot of reading.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. It's just a lot. Yeah, you're right. It's as simple as that. It's a lot. That's why there are specific lawyers for this.
And then, therefore, you get hit with something like that, you can know, oh, that's no, I'm protected. And you got to do that kind of thing, because the answer is not muting your content.
Yeah.
Why put down your paintbrush then? Now, if you're someone who does interpretive creation and never even used music before, well, then you're fine. That doesn't really, music or sound was never a thing of yours. Right on. Cool. Keep doing what you're doing. But obviously, I'm referencing to anybody else who is using sound as a part of their stream, right? Because I'm sure there's somebody out there who has a stream that has no sound.
Yeah.
Maybe they just need to do sign language and whatever else or whatever, and boom, or they just have closed captioning and there intentionally is no sound, whatever. That I'm sure something like that does exist. So we can't put that as a not happening thing. That anyone who uses sound, though, well, understand your rights. Or get somebody who does help you understand your rights, even if it costs money, because muting your content's not going to be the answer. You might as well just put your paintbrushes away if that's the case.
Exactly.
Oof, that's right, man.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just had to go off on that, man. I said, folks, hopefully you understand where we're coming from. Why General just decided to go like pure general rage on that, but
so much anger.
But I just don't want people getting pushed around, because that's what's happening, and that's why I feel a lot of us want to be our own boss. We don't really necessarily understand what that all entails, but
Dude, yeah,
it's the freedom to make decisions. Now, maybe people don't like your stuff, and that's all you're worried about, right? Not that you're going to get sued or shut down because somebody else wants to make a claim that they own the stuff that you're trying to do, when what you're doing probably is unique, and they're just trying to bullshit you because they're in a position of power.
Yeah, that's the worst.
But you know who's the best? Flibbityflam.
Who?
You.
Oh, no, it's you. No, you. No, you. No, us.
Oh my God. You know what? It's like two peas in a pod.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Gosh, dang. That felt good. Yo, dreamers, thank you so much for listening.
Thanks for hanging out, family.
And you all have a good one.
Bye-bye.